Hi Digidestin and welcome to the second episode of the Digital Gate. I'm your host, same as last time, Graphic Gets Good, and with me today is my co-host, Holy Dunsparce.
Hello, hello.
I mean, as you can see today, we actually have a logo this time. You may have saw it in the thumbnail for the first one. I sorted out the logo after I uploaded the video because that's the perfect time to do it. Um,
Yeah,
but now we actually have it for the podcast. But yeah, so at least that's something this time.
yeah.
But
We're
how have
making,
you?
we're making progress.
Yeah, small little increments of progress, but making it. So, how's your past week been, Holy? In the
Yeah, past week has been pretty good, thanks. How about
yeah,
yourself?
yeah, it's been alright. Just a lot of little games here and there, prepping for Evo and the Grand Prix, the Gen Con one. Just deciding what to play, um, and deciding if I should play two 8-round tournaments in the space of 3 days. But other than that, uh, it's alright.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we all played the regional, and just after the regional, we were all dead. So I don't know how I'm going to play the Gen Con tournament that goes till 3, 4 in the morning for me. Go to sleep, have Saturday to recover, and then before I know it, Sunday, I've got to be on ready at 7:30 in the morning to play the Evo Cup.
Mm,
So
yeah,
yeah, you
it was great.
know, we don't always make great life choices, but hey, I'll get through it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
so with no further ado, let's start this week's podcast. And what a great segue from talking about the Evo Cup to talk about the Evo Cup. Obviously, last week when we were talking about, we went over all the prizing and everything, but it was sold out. Since then, Bandai has decided to increase the amount of tickets. Um, to what? I can't actually find a definitive number, but I'm pretty sure it was 156 previously. And when we did the regional after they increased the tickets, it was almost 400 participants and it went for 9 rounds and it was not a good time. So hopefully it's not going to go to that again, but I wouldn't be surprised if they've left it uncapped.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Because obviously everyone complained because
Because
they
this is,
couldn't get into it.
yeah, definitely. And also, this is a very big event. Like having Pulsemons come back into circulation after we saw how good it was after BT5 and BT4.
Yeah, exactly. So getting those back in circulation. But I mean, I think it's bi-monthly, so we've got one this month, then 2 months we'll have another one. So I don't know if they're going to do something else next month, or if they're actually going to give us. Oh well, no, yeah, they are doing something. They're doing the Grand Prix next month, aren't they?
Yeah,
Which is yeah the other thing on here. So when I had joined the Grand Prix, they had no intention of releasing it anywhere outside of America at that point. So I got the worldwide tickets for Gen Con for it. Um, Now they've decided that they are going to bring it over here. Same pricing, uh, roughly same price, but it now means that you're not gonna, if you play this one, you're not gonna have to stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, if not 4 in the morning, like I am. So maybe I should have waited. That way I wouldn't have to play both at the same time. But
yeah, true. But
it's just,
hey, you get double rising.
yeah, exactly. I could join in again, do it all over again. So we've got these are the participation prizes. So this is for the standard. I believe the tickets for the standard are still 55 euros, so it's quite pricey. You do get 4 of the V1, 4 of the Rare Victory. Obviously, you then get the sleeves and the playmat. So
Yeah,
there's no like traditional tournament prizing like you'd get on the Evo and that, but it's still nice, some actual merch to take away that you can, as far as I know, only get from this event. And they they didn't stop there because you can pay an additional 40 euros to get the playmat, the other playmat and the other sleeves. So if you're crazy like me and you decide to become a VIP for the tournament, which literally just means you spent more money, so you get another playmat and another lot of sleeves, you can do that. and then the three cards at the bottom, these are your winner prizes. So you've got the Vidramon is top 64, the Aero V is top 32, and the All Force is top 8. So you get one of
Yes.
each, but I prefer that because they've spread the pricing out a lot more than what they would in uh, Evo, because obviously they saved like the Omni for the top. Was the just top place, and now it's top two.
Yeah. It was always top two.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It was always top two. So, but at least with this, there's going to be more in circulation because I think there's just in America alone. I think they're running like five um, uh, Grand Prix at Gen Con, four in
Mm.
person, one online, and like one online. So there's going to be not a huge amount, but they're going to be more attainable than the Omnimon.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's like these cards are not needed. They're just aesthetically nicer than the normal
Yeah,
ones.
it's
But you know,
it's just all arts. Um,
people who want
yeah, people want
you-
to
there we
max
go.
rarity
Got
their
more
deck.
options for you. Thought we clarify this.
Yeah, these are not new cards. You do not need these. So yeah, this is what you got looking forward to for the DC Grand Prix. It's not bad pricing. I quite like the sleeves and the playmats. That's why I went for it. And then you've got the alts as well. Again, just nice little pieces of trophy. Um, it's to be fair, it's nice to see that they are putting in the support with tournaments for online. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it when uh, things change and local tournaments are in more abundance. I don't know if they'll hold back, but at the moment it seems to be working and there seems to be a lot of demand for it.
Yeah, I think like 2020 showing that like online tournaments is something that can work. Like probably more companies will start to do more of this because it does it's more accessible to everyone and it brings more popularity to the card game itself
Oh,
if you're
definitely,
making it more accessible.
and especially by like I, I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but the fact that Japan, at least for the Japanese market, they're investing in like some way to play online without webcams. They haven't announced much more than that, assuming it's going to be a
Yeah,
sim of some kind.
yeah. The
So
world said for the EM side of the thing, World Championships will be played on a non-webcam based.
yeah, so I mean they're investing in it for the long run because you're not going to create something like that if it's just a temporary fix.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a sim that they release over here at some point.
Yeah, uh, this is kind of your side of things where you're a judge. I'll leave this to you.
Yes, so recently this week they released the new Q&A for the keyword decoy. Decoy is a kind of a confusing-ish mechanic. Depending, it just lets other cards protect the other cards for the most part. Is what the main mechanic does. And yeah, mainly just giving Q&As, talking about when they can be activated, does Digivolution cards, can be saved with decoy, all
S-
sorts of other stuff like that.
Yeah, surprisingly, it just seems to be like a black effect at the moment.
Yeah, the black is the only color, yeah, color with decoy, which is weird because it then pushes back black into the situation of we don't know what we're doing with it.
Yeah, it's been in that place for a while.
At least with like BT6 though, a lot of the black support is kind of generic, which is nice because black definitely just needs more generic stuff.
I mean, what it took them 5 sets to get the support of a five drop two cost. Well, no, sorry, just to get a single two cost Digivolution level five.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, black's in a weird place. But so what's the actual decoy? Oh, so it's right there. Yeah. The one when
Another Digimon of the declared decoy is deleted. You can delete this Digimon instead of the other one, as long as it is by card effect.
yeah, because they messed up the wording. I think we went over it last time. They messed up the wording of it.
Yeah. So it was originally it said by any card effect, by any means, you could just
Yeah.
delete another Digimon, which would be a bit busted.
Yeah, just block
But they
effect
had
anything.
yeah, but then they had changed it to has to be deleted by opponent's card effect.
But I'm assuming it probably goes over in the previous. So I'm assuming obviously that means DP reduction gets over
Yeah,
it, and
Steepy.
Digivolution also.
Yeah, because they're not deleting. As long as it uses the keyword delete, this card can protect against it.
I mean, it'd be nice to see what they do in the future. I think it's like you said, they're just kind of throwing things at black at the moment and seeing what sticks. They're still not quite sure what they're going to do with it. Obviously, they had the whole blocker aspect, and it seems like they're touching that with the later sets, but not really leaning into as much.
Yeah, definitely. I think they did right with the can't talk. They did something along the right lines when it comes to Machine Dramon. That was definitely something they did right because that deck did a tear on the Japanese meta.
Yeah, definitely. So they proved they can make it work, but it's weird because black obviously has reboot. It has reboot, it has de-digivolve, and it has decoy. So there's like
Yeah,
three big mechanics that are locked to that one color, and they said they still don't know what they're doing with it.
it's kind of surprising, but
Yeah,
we'll get something for black eventually.
yeah. Eventually they'll figure it out, and they'll release like they'll find its gimmick, its niche, which will be nice to see when they find it. So then we've got the BT6 leaks for this week. There was a few things leaked. I don't think there wasn't anything massive leaked. This is it's just all kind of like extra pieces. So some decks that look pretty good, like they'll do okay, but nothing as groundbreaking as Jesmon from last week. So we've got the Geysermon. When your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, gain 2k. So it's a nice 2k buff for a deck. Well, this is all based around kind of the new uh, blue deck. So when your opponent, and then we've got Digimon. When your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, Digimon games jamming, which is nice. Jamming
Yeah,
is a very uh, powerful ability, and being able to put it on a 5k body as well is nice because then you can kind of force crashes as well with blockers.
yeah,
But it's more like the
definitely.
inherit, like trash one
Jamming,
Digivolution card from the bottom of your opponent's Digimon just from when attacking, so it doesn't have that same wall that some of the other early ones had, where it'd only do it off like a level 4, level 5. That's just straight off any of your opponent's Digimon, which is nice.
yeah, definitely. Jamming definitely seems to be like what blue is trying to achieve with that color
Yeah,
because there's been a lot of stuff for blue that is jamming, not much for any other color. Also, an important thing with the Gizmon, because of the wording, all of the opponent's Digimon have to have no sources. Even if your opponent has one Digimon with a source, then you
oh
do not get a
wow.
2K buff.
Thanks for the word. I,
Yeah,
I,
it's not as good as people think it is.
to be fair, with a deck like Hexablow or even uh, as a Longmon, it's not as hard to achieve.
Yeah,
But
definitely is not, but it is something very important to know. The 2K is if all Digimon have no sources on the opponent's side.
so, do you want to take these two for us, Holy? Go through these.
Uh, Yeah, I'll go with these. So first one is Majiramon, finally getting some more stuff for the Stavers. When did you evolve thing? Trash one from the bottom. Each of your opponent's Digivolution, each the top of each Digivolution of each Digimon. Got
Yes.
there eventually. Essentially, it's just the reverse of Chris Paildramon, because Chris Paildramon takes from the bottom instead of the top, which, depending on what deck you're playing against, is useful. But for the most of the time, it's the bottom one you want to get rid of.
Yeah, it's only if it's things like yeah. I mean, because what Jesper? To be fair, something like Jesmon, it'd be nice to rip the top off because
Yeah,
you're
get
hitting
rid of
that.
the Savior.
Yeah, and there's a few others, but yeah, I guess it's nice because you just have the option. Say you run this in Chris Palgrimon, you're able to pick and choose what one you're chipping off.
Then the inheritable for Majiramon is when attacking once per turn, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards in play, unsuspend this Digimon.
Yeah, so it's, again, it's that wording of it has to have all of your opponent's Digimon have to have no Digivolution sources to pop that off.
Yeah. which is doable, which makes it super disgusting,
Yeah, because
especially when we talk about Azula.
but not only that, you've got is it Death Parade? Rip two sources off all your opponent's Digimon for 3 cost, which is a crazy option that I never see anyone
Yeah,
play.
yeah, it's a weird one that constantly gets forgotten about. Then onto the big boss of what essentially is going to be the counterpart of Hexblow, a Zulongmon, which is when Digivolving, trash one Digivolution from the bottom of all of your opponent's Digimon, then gain a memory for each one without Digivolution cards. And then your turn, for each Digimon with Digivolution cards, without Digivolution cards your opponent has in play, this Digimon gets security attack +1.
So if you're running the whole stack, you're giving him a nice 2k boost, and you're potentially swinging for silly amounts of security
Yeah.
and getting a
So
restand.
yeah, definitely. It's super, super deadly.
How did it do
Especially
in
like,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, like if you're playing against Rookie Rush with this thing, just strip one source off of everything, gain a memory for every rookie they have, and then swing in security attack +1, restand, swing again. They
So
just die.
so obviously we knew how well, at least I knew how Jesmon was gonna destroy the meta, but how does Azulongmon do in the JP meta? Well, how did he do in the JP meta?
Razulong did okay. He does about as good as Hexablow does now. It's just the fact that this is obviously a much stronger card than Hexblow. It's just everything else around it was also stronger, so it didn't see that much play because
He was,
like Lord Knight ones cupcakes compared to the next set.
yeah, and then I guess you was either play this deck or play Bond of Friendship, and looking at how
Yeah.
well Bond of Friendship did, I'm assuming people just went for that.
Yeah.
So then we've got the yellow cards that were revealed. So another Tapemon. Uh, when this card is moved from your when a card is removed from your security stack on your turn, trigger draw one. So it's a nice uh, just extra bit of consistency for your yellow decks, a bit more draw power. And then to combo off that as well, you got Wizardmon. When a card is removed from your security stack, gain one memory. So it's just a way to potentially trash one of your security, draw one, gain a memory. Which is quite nice.
Yeah. These two cards are really decent when it comes to like BT60i. Very, very much played cards,
Yeah,
especially as nothing new really comes out of this set, and the Lord Nightmon just does this stuff anyways.
yeah. So you say it's just kind of just more tech pieces for Lord Knight,
Yeah, much.
and we've got the top level.
Yep. Want me to take over this?
Yep, if you want to do these two.
Cool. So first we have Mistymon. An inheritable ability. Your turn. Your turn once per turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2k DP. That's a nice little DP reduction, but
Yeah, I think
honestly could be a bit better.
I mean 2k could potentially pop a rookie if you've got like Pikmon underneath it and you're swinging. Um, that's the thing. Like you could play a well, I can't remember the name of it. The yellow option card that trashes security gains your memory. Why's my
Blinding Ray.
Blinding Ray? That's the one. I don't know why I forgot the name of that. It's been used to me enough. But you could Blinding Ray, -2k off something, then attack -3k. But I guess it's just those extra combo pieces because you could go into a slash, swing, kill someone that's 10k. If you've got pick, potentially 11k. Um, so But it's like you
Yeah,
say, if that was like 1k more, it would be way more viable. Like being able to kill, like, because the thing is, it's an inheritable, so you're not going to get that effect off unless you've got a level 6 on top of it. So I think it would have been better if it was 3k because it gives you that little bit of extra play. It almost guarantees a rookie kill. Which the thing is, we get that on Lady Devimon. It's a it's a level
yeah,
3 kill on using an option, so it wouldn't be too much to ask just making it 3k because yeah, I don't know. Lady Devi does more for the same price. like the same 3-cost Digivolution. So
I guess you can make like the point of it's 2 cost less.
yeah, true. It's
But
cheaper to
again,
hard play.
yeah. But again, it's like you're still having to get rid of stuff from security to do it on your turn, which means you have to play trashing effect.
Yeah,
But
and
I
that's
don't know. I'm not on the design team.
but yeah, I like because if it was 3K, you could potentially, if you're on 3 memory, you could Blinding Ray minus 2K or something, Digivolve into Slash minus 8K or something, drop it. It'll say if that was 3K, sorry, so you drop it to 11K and then swing with your Pikmon underneath 12K. So you could kill a level 6 with a nice little combo. But
Mm.
I just don't know why you would use this over some. Like, admittedly, Wargrowl chucks your resources off, but it's just more aggressive. You can just quickly go up and destroy 12K without needing those extra little pieces.
I mean, you can play this in Wargrave.
Yeah, true, because you're going to get that minus
Trashing it.
2k. And I guess in that deck, you could play it in there and it allows you to swing over things as well.
Yeah, you get like potentially -9 if you have Koromon as well.
Yeah, true.
Deals with pretty much every level 5 under the sun.
Yeah. Then we've got
Um, yeah,
the
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 last
big
card,
boy.
yellow, Dynasmon. When Digivolving, trash the top card of your security stack to reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 level 6 or lower Digimon cards among them from your hand. Trash the remaining cards. So, really pretty nice first effect.
Yeah.
Trash one to add 2, you can get more cards in the trash. And then all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from your security, if you have 3 or fewer security, recover 1.
Yeah, which if you're stalling them out and they're only getting one swing a turn, they're not going to do any damage to you.
No,
But
it's an alright card. So
yeah, he's nothing like groundbreaking. Did he see much play in like the Lord Knight deck or?
you're looking like a niche one-off in
Yeah.
Lord Knight.
I mean, the thing is, it's not a bad card. Its effects are okay, but then they just went crazy with the
Yeah, the
BT7 and
colors.
Kazuchimon.
Oh yeah,
So
I was thinking of the colors of that.
oh yeah, and yeah, even the colors in this set, he's just doesn't compare. Then we've got the Eosmon line. So this is Green's new cards. They didn't really get much. They got a Morphomon. So to search, reveal top 5 of your decks, add Manoa Bellucci, add one Manoa Bellucci and one Digimon with Eos in its name, and place the remainder at the bottom of the deck. So obviously with the Eosmon line, they all share the same name, so it allows you to search for anything from your level 4, 5, 6. So it's a nice way to get the pieces you're missing and grab a tamer as well. And
I think
then
this card would have been much better if they trashed it. I'll be honest.
yeah, because that's the thing. This like you'll see later on, like having EOS money in your trash is beneficial to you. So being able to reveal 5, keep 2 cards, trash 3, or even if you grab one, trash 4, if there was no tamer in there, that is you'd benefit from that. Because this was like a weird deck. This is a weird archetype. They were like, how about this?
Yeah,
And
it's
it
definitely just feels randomly chucked in there.
yeah, and then you've got the level 40 Osmon. You may play one white tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without playing this memory cost. Then your opponent may play one tamer as well from their hand without playing this memory cost. And did you hard play it? So it's a nice way to get a tamer out. And if your opponent has got one, they plus as well. But if they've already got a tamer out and it's something like, I don't know. To be fair, quite a lot of the tamers they'll if they end up getting another one out and plus from it, they're going to benefit more. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You only
Yeah.
really want to do it if you're desperate to get that tamer out and increase your board.
Oh, the tame having your opponent having tame is important for the level 6.
True. So and then the inheritable is when attacking, you may play one white tamer card with play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying this memory cost. So that's a ridiculously good inheritable effect. Obviously, with there being no white level 3s, Oh, no, sorry, yeah, it can digivolve from green, can't it? Yeah, so this line, or at least, oh, so yeah, so they can all digivolve from green. So it's this weird, they didn't know what color to put in. They didn't make a full white deck, so you can still digivolve up in this line, and even from green cards as well. Which I've only seen a few uh, builds of this deck. Um,
Yeah, the green cards in this deck normally stop at the level 4 slot.
yeah, you usually get some level threes in, a few different effects that are going to benefit you, and then maybe some blockers, and then I'll let you take the two big boys again.
Right. First off, level 5 Eosmon. The first text, probably the most important thing of this card, of you can include up to 50 copies of this card as long as it has the same number.
Yeah, so people better
Oh
make
gosh.
space to keep a big old wad of Eosmon. I'm glad they made it a
Yeah,
common.
yeah, definitely. For people who keep master set collections, keep a nice, good, like 4-page spread for this thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it. And then also has, when attacking, you may play one level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost.
Yeah, so it's just a good way to keep hoarding your board. It's like a commander one, but not having to proc off anything. As long as you've got it in your hand, you're able just to attack, play another attack, play another attack, play another. Especially if
Yeah,
you swing with the, because I mean it's a 6k body, which is like that's not something to sniff at. 6k is a really important number.
yeah, it definitely is because it allows you to trade with like the 2-cost blockers, so people are gonna less gonna want to do it. Well, not gonna want to block these because their blocker dies as well.
Yeah, and then they can just play out a second one anyway. So it's like trading for the sake of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Also, important thing, you actually get on plays with this. So if you play the level 40 Osmon, you can play Tame with it for free.
Oh, nice.
Then, as a nice inherit, it's this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Nice and simple inherit.
Yeah, just something nice to add on to it.
And then we got the big boy, the big Eosmon. On Digivolving, for each tamer in play, you may place one level 5 or lower Eosmon from your trash to the top of this Digimon's Digivolution sources in any order. And then if you place 2 or more, delete an opponent's Digimon. So this is the part of the effect that's important. Why you have tamer, you give your opponent tamers as well as yourself.
Yeah, because that just delete any Digimon is such a powerful effect.
Yeah. As well as that, you can just, if your opponent has 3 tamers, you have 4 tamers. You just stack 7 under it. And it's insane. And then also your turn, for every 3 Digivolution cards in this Digimon's Digivolution source, it gains security attack +1. So even more reason to give your opponent more tamers.
Do you think if they gave the Morphomon like trash the rest, do you think that would have given it too much power in this deck? Because you could potentially, like they said, stack
Um,
your security. So if you did 6 tamers in play, you can get security attack +2.
I honestly don't think so. Because next, I know a bit obviously with like future sets, and Analog Youth is a card that's coming out. Well, it's obviously been out for a while in JP, and that's made this deck semi-viable. Like it did stuff because Analog Youth, you check the top 3, add a Digimon, and the rest get trashed.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess it just gives you that extra bit of like consistency, so you're able to get at least able to get off the delete one of your opponent's Digimon when digivolving.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you've got the final piece, Manai Bellucci. So start of your turn, if you have 2 or more memory, a 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3. So we finally get a white memory tamer, which I've seen a few decks like play. So they'll be playing like Ultimate Fusion, but they'll play this card just for the only reason just to get that memory tamer effect. Just because that way you can play off your Ultimate Fusion, but you don't have to hope that you're going to hit uh, like the Matt and Ty effect to guarantee the memory. Then when you play an Eosmon, you may suspend this tamer to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one Tamer card or one Digimon card with Eosmon in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So again, it's like you said. I think this could have been another opportunity to build up your trash.
Definitely.
And
They
then
just missed it slightly. If I think if Morphomon and Manoa put stuff into the trash rather than the bottom of the deck, I think this deck would have been a lot more playable.
yeah,
Than
just give them that extra bit of push they may have needed. And then on your opponent's turn, while you have an Eosmon in play, your opponent's tamers don't unsuspend during their unsuspend phase, which is a way to control those tamers that you're forcing them to put out as well.
yeah.
Yes,
Well, this is out. Rest in peace, Shine players.
yeah,
Well, to be fair, it's if they've shined your board already.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Is if they're by the time you've got out this with the Shine player, they've either got everything they need or they've already blown up your board.
Yeah.
But is this similar to Azulongmon then? This deck, it just kind of saw play but never really topped.
Probably say this is a bit worse than Azulonmon from what people saw of it. It didn't really do much on release. It's only with like EX set having cards like 60% win rate and analog U, then it started to pick up in popularity because 60% lets you reduce the cost of the level 6 Eosmon, so it's a lot more manageable. And then Analog Youth was tracking stuff and more white tamers that you can play off of the level 4 Eosmon.
Yeah, it's just those extra little tech pieces. I mean, it looks like a fun deck to play. Um, but
I mean, yeah, it's definitely fun if you can just like play level 5 Eosmon Rush, jams 36 Eosmon into a deck, a couple of removal options, and you're good.
yeah, I think it's one of those like Diaboromon where it was a really cool concept, but it just didn't have the staying power, not yet. But it was just fun to play. Like I played a bit Diaboromon the other day, and it was really fun to play. But you know that it's just not like you could get really lucky with your games and you could top with it, but it's just not got that strength.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we've got the last two cards that are revealed this week. We've got Chinkurimon, which sees a lot of play in a few decks I've seen. So at the
Yeah,
end of the battle, trigger. Sorry, its security effect is at the end of the battle, trigger D-Digivolve one on one of your opponent's Digimon. So just trashing one of the Digivolution cards. Sorry, one of the top Digivolution card and D-Digivolving it by one. Which for a security effect, it's just a nice little bit of like disruption. But also where it's a level 3, it's just a standard zero Digivolution, play cost 3, um, rookie. So you're not going to be too worried about putting 4 of these in your deck and just if one pops in security, great. But I think it sees a lot of play in the security control for BT6.
yeah, I can see a lot of just black decks in general, just because it's just something nice to security, and if it's just level 3, if you see it, you just evolve it and forget about it.
And then we've got Nanimon, which is another security card. At the end of battle, play this card without playing its memory cost, which is, I mean, he's a 2K level 4, 3 cost to play, 2 to digivolve. So he's a very cheap Digimon. The only thing he has going for him is that security effect, but
Mm,
at the same time we've got the Greymon that has the same effect, but I think he's 4K, so you're gaining an extra 2K from him. Obviously, this one's just cheaper to hard play if you needed to.
yeah, I think these are just like a bit of an upgrade to the security Digimon from BT3.
Yeah, it's just like an
It's a
extra.
little bit cheaper, but
Yes, it's just
still, the security Digimon weren't great in the first place. So
yeah, and I think it's again going back to what we were talking before, like them throwing loads of different things at black and seeing what sticks. Like this set, they've given them a couple of on security activations as well. Doesn't I think one of the cards they're going to announce next? I'm pretty sure that has a security effect as well.
mm,
Black.
I know Alphamon does.
Yeah, it's Alphamon, I think. But yeah, so
Yeah,
that's kind of their. where black tries something different each set. That's what they're trying this set. So that is it for the card reveals. So then we had this, which you sent me over. So I'll let you explain what this is.
Right. So we'll go over the bottom thing first because this is a bit more of the interesting news in the top bit. So BT8, we have confirmation that we had a silhouette Digimon before. We weren't 100% sure, but we knew it was one of the two Imperial Dramons. And this week we got finally confirmed that it was Imperial Dramon Fighter mode
Yeah,
that is going to get added.
which is nice because I think we spoke about it last week that the starter deck is I can't remember the name of it, but it's obviously something dragon, so it's about the dragon mode.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's another worldly dragon.
yeah, so I'm assuming that we're gonna get two level six dragon modes in that, or even just one level six dragon mode, then another Digimon. So this is nice that we're finally gonna
Yeah.
see the fighter
I see
mode.
actually Grand Coagumon from it because that was like Ken's OG
True, yeah.
evolution.
Or maybe they'll just like do it as another way to get some Bancho out. You just have like a two of a Bancho, just something.
Yeah. And then the top bit of news is we've got brand new sleeves coming to the game with 4 new designs. They do this occasionally. I think over in EN we recently had like the Pulsemon sleeves with the Machine Dramon ones. But that's we got that one recently. So now we've got this ones, which is Terriermon and Lotmon, looking very cute on one of them. Gallantmon and Beelzemon doing kind of like a face card of the playing cards, like the top half being Gallant, the bottom half being Beelzemon.
Yeah, I
So
really like the look of that one. I think if I was gonna
yeah,
get any, it'd be that one.
there's a Imperial Dramon Fighter mode which matches the design that was from the silhouette, and then a really nice Alphamon design, which is very minimalist, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's got. I'm assuming that gold will be like gold foiling.
Oh, if it is God Falling, I'm definitely picking it up for like when I okay the off chance that I play X Antibody in BT7 because I feel that's when we're gonna get these in
Yeah,
English.
yeah, we'll probably get them. BT7's quite close to when they got them. But I think that's it for news. There's not much this week. Again, we thought that we'd be getting at least some JP card leaks this week because obviously it's not long now until these starter decks come out, and usually they would have announced all the cards before they come out.
Actually looked up when the start is meant to come out. They come out like I believe end of October, so it actually might be a bit way away
Oh, yeah,
from them.
maybe we won't
But
see anything for a little while then.
yeah, no, we might get lucky. Who knows?
So this is
Always hope.
our next fun segment. So over at Gordo Games, which is a Discord server that me and Holy are a part of. Um, as I said last time, they run a couple of locals a week. So we decided to take the top three from each of the locals that were run over the past week and go over them. Um, surprise, surprise. First place for Thursday was yellow. It's becoming a bit of a habit for us to show off uh, yellow decks. I think it was three last week, and we've got a little bit more than that this week.
Yeah, definitely.
So again, it's hard to go over. With the thing with yellow is like we said last week, they understand what they're building now. So it's just the odd tech pieces. So with this, they've decided one of war grey, and I mean to be fair, you don't see many people run Sirenmon. It's a good way to if you're bricking to get out up into your Lord Knight or your Slash, and then go into Chaosmon as well. If you, but yeah, I don't think there's. We're not waiting on any groundbreaking discoveries for these decks now. I don't think we're going to see anything with Lord Knight until next set that really changes it.
Yeah, definitely. I think when BT6 comes out, because there's a lot of viable decks in BT6, that's when we'll start seeing a lot of diversity within the Gordo locals.
Yeah, but for now, it's a bit a bit yellow. So again, this is Bobcat's list. Um, very similar. As you see, not much changes. Running more Pulsemon, running some extra Turimon. But other than that, it's quite a similar list. And we obviously went over it quite a bit last week, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the yellow decks this week. But then we've got Cursed with his third place purple, which is this was a deck that I think both of us have been talking with Curse for a while. He loves Cress and he's been building and tweaking, and I I lent more towards the Metal Guru for this deck, but he was very much like Cress was what he wanted to go for, and he actually sent me over a message going over what games he did, how he did against them. Just give us an extra bit of insight on his deck. So let me just get
Yeah,
those up.
very nice.
So his game one was against Black Reboot. He went 2-0. Game two, Green Control, 2-0 again. But he said this second game was they had a very his opponent was very bricky. Um, so it wasn't like a true reflection. He 2-1 against Lord Knight, which these decks can do because there's not much in a Lord Knight security you're scared of unless they've got a big board and you hit a Spiral Masquerade. You don't really mind swinging into their security. And with a deck like this that can clear their security in one turn, you're not really going to be too worried about it. And then he said his second game was Lord Knight. He bricked on level 5s the first game, and he bricked again on the second game. That's then that's the problem with combo deck like this. You need to see your pieces. You're not going to be able to play out of it, and you do have pieces to increase your draw power. Obviously, he's running the Labramon, so the on-play draw and trash one. Um, but it's hard to find your combo pieces because there's not
Yeah,
much draw power in purple. Well, there is, but then you almost change the whole way your deck functions because to gain the draw power you have to suicide stuff. So you have to start adding in things like the Gabu where its inherit is when it dies draw two trash one, which means then you're sacking your level fours just to get some draw power, which is good. But with this deck where it's reliant on building that one stack, bringing it out and swinging for game, it's just almost increasing too many different themes in the deck. And where this is like a pure OTK deck, I can see why he hasn't gone down those routes.
something that might be nice to add for the deck is maybe just one or two Takumi Ibas.
Yeah, that's the thing. Um, the only thing I find with this is because it's an OTK deck, you're never gonna raise until you've got game, or unless they're pushing you and you can't do anything else. So I think even with this Takumi Aiba, as much as it'd be nice to have, you're not going to be building on board. Like you may like Digivolve one or two, which to be fair, if you've got a couple of Takumis down, not only is it stalling your opponent for swinging into, and you can get some draw power. Um, But yes, it's just a bit of a hard list, but it did him really well. He did well
Yeah.
against his games, um, and he was very very proud of it. He'd been working on it for weeks, like sending me messages, like putting posts up, looking for advice, like tweaking it, and then he was just this local was like, this is it, this is when it comes out. So he also gave me a couple extra notes. So he said his experience so far is he can beat Lord Knights if he sees Crest and Demonic Disaster, rips through the securities. They have to focus on blocking his swings less than controlling his board, which is like I said with Lord Knight. If you can get you like all he has to do is get his DP over 14, which you can do very easy with this deck, and then he's not worried about swinging through anything. Um, he said he saw Melga in round two on his final game, and he couldn't beat enough. He couldn't beat uh, Yellow down quick enough, which is understandable because the thing with Melga is he's 11k and you're not going to be able to swing over things without getting your combo pieces off. Um, I prefer Melga just because you can keep your stack, you can keep your inheritables and throw out your rookies. Whereas with Crash, you obviously have to Digiburst to get your rookies out to restand. But yeah,
Yeah, it's understandable why people prefer like both of them. It's just
yeah, they
again,
definitely have their place in the deck.
it's just preference. It's Crest just prefers the crest. Oh, no, you Curse prefers the crest over the Nalgas.
Yeah, we just have our own favourite Wolfie boy. And so then we actually changed over to a different tournament system. So we're now using Limitless, which saves me a lot of work because it means I don't have to chase people up for deck lists, and I don't have to, if they send me a photo, then build that deck list. On Limitless, you can just click of a button because they have to submit their decks. You get their deck list, which is beautiful. So it's a lot less work for me now. Um, but on the other end of that, we have three more yellow decks. so
Whee!
so this was for our Omni Cup, which is an event we ran on Sunday. First place took home an All Art Omnimon from BT5. Second place took a Normal Art Omnimon from BT5, and third place was a playset of rares of their choice. So it's just a little bit of fun we did on the server. I think I spoke about it last time on the podcast. It was free entry, just a bit of fun getting some people in. Um, and we, to be fair, we saw quite a lot of different decks, um, but sadly at the top we did not. But at least this is a bit more of an interesting uh, Lord Knight because
Yeah,
it
definitely is.
because this uh, Lily decided that she would chuck in a Kintaris one that, as Holy informs me, she loves to do in every deck she plays. It's like a secret spice.
Yeah, it's just kind of like her thing that she likes to do with the yellow decks.
I Joe, I do really like Kintaris one. He definitely has his place. I ran him in a Mastimon deck just to because I felt like he worked really well because he'd give you that stall out. You can then in a like a purple yellow deck you can blow him up with demonic with not demonic disaster, Deathclaw, so you can minus 11k or something. So he's a nice little tech, and he's a good way to stall out one of. But again, it just throws back to what we were saying before, where all we're seeing is like a couple of cards change in each of them, just to like different decks people are going out for. This is I was looking at this list, and I think I was talking to Gordo. Now Shishi, um, I've played against him a couple times on the Northern Ireland UK server, and he's a really good player, but he's gone for this style of list where it's like lots of twos of and one ofs, just so it's very just tech everything in. So you've always potentially got an out, which it works for some, doesn't work for others. Obviously, it worked for him. He ended up second in it. Um, you've got the one of Rise Grey. You've got one of Sakaimon.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just I think like for me this would be a bit too much of a techie list, but if it works for some people, it works for some.
Yeah, I'm one of those that likes to play by the numbers. I'll have four of something or three of something. Very rare am I running like if it's like a tech that I don't need to see, like level sevens, I'll run like a two off, or if it's a level three, I'll run it at a two off. But most everything else is like threes or fours, to keep that consistency. So I'm more likely to see those pieces. But some people play like this. Some people like to watch the world burn and run 10 different one-offs in their deck.
To be fair, I'm just waiting for a deck that's for Digimon to be like, cool. This is not you can play a Highlander deck. Highlander is like the thing I'm mainly waiting for because I love Highlander as an idea.
So what's that? So I'm quite new to TCGs. This is actually my first ever proper TCG. So can you explain to
Yeah.
me and the listeners that may not know what a Highlander deck is?
So Highlander, I don't remember where it originates from, but it is essentially the format of a deck consisting only of one-of cards. So it'd be 50 unique different cards in the deck for Digimon. That's it.
Maybe that's an interesting game we can play. Just build two Highlander decks. Keep it like monocolor as well. Make it nice and
Yeah.
difficult.
I think yellow would probably benefit the most of being a Highlander deck because it's got so many like you're already like struggling to put stuff into options, so just having like one-offs that are just nice here and there
Yeah,
would be definitely
because
going for it.
it's got a lot of good rookies. And yeah, then we've got the third deck, which is from Lidl. So only kind of unique thing here, he's running Takumi Aiba for the draw power and obviously the ability to stall his opponent. Um, but then it kind of, I think running Takumi comes at a detriment because then he's running the recovery Salamon as well. So he's potentially blocking himself from swinging, recovering, and maybe doing another attack if he has both of them out.
Yeah,
So
I can see that.
at that situation, maybe go for like a Lucamon or the promo Patamon, just because then you're not going to worry about it. But then even again, Takumi and then a Bushi. So say you bring out a Bushi, you then swing with it, and you just because you have Takumi down, you just cost yourself memory.
Yeah, it's gonna be the weird one for Lord Nightmon decks.
I can I can kind of see it with the extra draw power, but again with Lord Nightmon decks, you don't need the draw power because you've got the searches. So I feel like he could have just bumped up his searches. I mean, to be fair, playing 4 Gladiemon as well is
Yeah, Gladimon's just a weird option. Like I said last time, I feel like this is either a 1 or 0. You don't really play it as a 4 off.
yeah. So again, it's a weird list, but I mean, he got him to third place. He
Yeah,
did well through the tournament. He was 3-0 up into his final game. But yeah, it's feeling very yellow at the moment, the meta, which is understandable. It's definitely a powerhouse deck. I'm surprised we haven't seen more security control
yeah,
because
that's what I'm kind of surprised by.
we saw a bit of rookie rush at the beginning, but security control is still really strong this format. But a lot of people just leaning towards Lord Knight. I guess,
A local security control player's been playing Lord Knight for the past few days.
yeah, he's been training for his store locals.
Yeah, yeah,
But yes,
good day to be
hopefully,
a yellow player.
yeah, and then just one splash of purple, which
Yeah,
is not the color I expected to be up there, but hopefully we've got a couple more locals coming up. So this is your your fun JP side of things. So
yes
again,
it is.
uh, the same as with last week, Holy's bringing us 3 decks that are currently topping in JP. Um, so I will pass it over to you and let you explain what the decks are, what they do.
Cool. So the first deck list we have today is Hybrid Red. I talked a little bit about Hybrid Blue last time with Magna Gurumon, so this time talking about his counterpart Kaiser Greymon and of course Ancient Greymon. Yeah, this list is pretty nice having a lot of the new stuff added. The Burning Greymon that lets you Digivolve from Tamers for 2 also lets you go off of other champions, which is something nice and something definitely needed for both hybrid colors. I think I'd say so.
Yeah, give you. I mean, where you're running, I can see where you're running the Ancient Greymon. It allows you to stack from level 4. So say if you play in a Goonimon, you could then go into Burning Greymon, then go into like Aldermon, then into your Ancient Greymon. So you're gaining that extra security, so almost turning it into like an OTK Greymon.
Yeah. Burning Gremlin also lets you blow up a couple small dudes. Lets you delete something with 4k or less, so kills off pretty much all rookies.
Yeah, which is crazy for a level 4.
Yeah. It does have to specifically evolve off of the Takuya though, I believe.
Ah, okay.
Um, but yeah, running 3 of the new Aldermon. This new Aldermon is absolutely bonkers. If you're evolving it off of a card with a tamer in its Evo sources, it gets reduced by 2, so it's a 1 cost to evolve ultimate.
Which is,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and if you're evolving it off of a Digimon with, if it has a Digimon with hybrid underneath it, then it gets an extra 4K, but I think up to 12 as an ultimate. Doesn't get the security check that BT4 Alderman has, but it's a lot bulkier.
The good things don't
Then
stop there with the card, does it?
no, the good thing doesn't. As if there is a 10 warriors or hybrid, as this when it's an Evo, if it's hybrid or 10 warriors, then it's just added a delicate plan to it,
Yeah, so it allows,
which is
yeah,
very
yeah, it allows you to build the dream of the ancient Greymon OTK, which doesn't activate securities. Which, I mean, the only thing is you're missing the DP boost. Um,
yeah.
you're kind of
That's
swap,
one
but at 13k, you're more than likely going to survive. The only thing that's going to kill you is your level sevens, and you don't have to worry about option cards. You're just able to swing through, potentially check their whole security just with one ancient grey, and then cause you could technically build him up in raising,
yeah, you could.
and then bring him
Or
out, swing for all their security, and then just digivolve on top of your tamer, because that's the thing. You've got more options for digivolving on top of your tamers now.
what I can do is I can tell you the secret tech of this deck. This deck has a very hidden niche tech that is very important. Takuya Aiba says place 5 cards from the trash under the Digivolution sources to evolve into Kaiser Greymon. You can just place the sources under it and not evolve. The evolving is optional.
So you can just stack a bunch of sources under your Takuya.
So yeah, what you can do is say place 3 of the promo Agunimon, then evolve into champion hybrid, evolve into the 1 cost to evolve hybrid, and then just evolve into Ancient Greymon for free. And then Ancient Greymon obviously has like security attack plus 8 at this point.
But
You get to go for 3 whole memory.
yeah, that is a little hidden tech.
Yeah, it's very nice when people figured this out. This was the biggest brain thing I've ever seen.
They just had that moment with like, oh wait,
Yeah, I should probably also go over what Emperor Greymon does quickly
oh
for
yeah,
those
true.
who do not know, which is another one of the boss monsters. So it's got Blitz, and then during your turn, once per turn, when it's blocked, you can unsuspend it and gain a memory for every hybrid under it.
They're never going to want to block it.
No, especially when you evolve it from a Takuya, because then you gain 5 memory and it unsuspends.
I guess it just allows you to guarantee game, because
Yeah,
they could have one blocker on board. You go up. Their choice is either block it, you restand game memory and swing again, or
you know,
but yeah, it's definitely an interesting looking deck. I'm liking where the meta's going with it. We're getting like those crazier decks. So as we're seeing more pieces to the puzzles that we saw them building earlier on, like BT4 laid the groundwork for this deck, and now we're kind of seeing it come into fruition.
yeah, it's really nice. BT4 is like the build up for hybrid, and this is not like our big payoff for it is having
Yeah,
a lot of the 10 ancient warriors support, and then also something that really utilizes hybrids with Kaiser Graham, Kaiser Greymon and Magna Garurumon.
it's definitely yeah. I'm excited to get over here. And then we've got a list that you were telling me about. I'm really excited to talk about.
Yes, I've been playing this list for a little while, and I absolutely love this list. This list is essentially hybrid Shine Greymon,
Yeah, so for all you people
which,
that thought he was dead, he's coming back.
yeah, this has been seeing somewhat niche play in JP, but it's still been winning and still been topping. So the main idea of this deck is, well, something you'll notice about it is that there's not many level 3s in the deck. There's currently 10, and 4 of them you cannot evolve onto the egg, as it is a white level 3. So the idea of this is you play a bunch of tamers because you just run all of the hybrids as your level 4s.
Oh yeah, and then you've got the Palmon to search out your tamers.
Yep, that's the idea. So this deck essentially lets you run as many tamers as you want. This deck is running 15 tamers, which sounds ridiculous on paper, but trust me, I've play tested this deck extensively. It works. And so yeah, the basic idea is you use the tamers to go up into the Shine Greymon, and then if you're at any point looking low on stuff, you could just have the Susanomon as a big swing back play. Because other than like the Rise Greymon, the Shines, and the rookies, everything else is hybrids in the deck.
So
So
what
use
the
Susanomon skill.
yeah? So then none of the fours and five hybrids have inheritables. So what are their abilities then?
Kazimon is, which is the first one on the list, is just like Lobomon. It's just the only ability is it can evolve from a tamer. And Zephyrmon says if it's got a hybrid in its trait or Zoe, which is the uh, new tamer that you see
Yeah.
on the art, all of your security Digimon get plus 3,000 to the end of your turn,
Oh wow. Good.
which combos nicely with Zoe that also gives all of your security Digimon another 3,000. So in total, you can buff your security by 6k,
And you've got the
which is
TKs as well.
yeah. So in total, that could be like potentially an extra 10k to your security, which is nothing to stop at.
Yeah, killing the 12k bodies with a Patamon.
Yeah, you can do that. Like it makes Jessmon a lot less safe because Jessmon used to be the powerhouse that swung for like 17. It can EX it, and with this, it's like 17 isn't nearly as safe as you think it is.
Yeah, especially if you've got multiple tamers out as well. You're laughing.
Yeah, and obviously Shine's in here because you run 15 tamers. If you're not going to be playing Shine Greymon in this, what are you playing?
What does the level 5 hybrid do?
Um, so it has a lot of the same conditions as most hybrids, level 5 hybrids in the set, which is if it's got a tamer and its evolution sources, you can reduce the cost by 2, which is really, really nice because most of the time you're only evolving this off what a tamer would be.
Yeah, so you
And
get that
then
one
if
cost
they're,
Evo.
yeah, yeah. And then if you evolve with a hybrid and its sources, you get to recover one
Oh,
unconditionally.
nice. So it's a did you roll for one, recover
Recover one.
one, and then shine them next turn?
I mean, if it's one memory, you can shine them at the same turn.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It looks. It just reminds me of when Shine was a thing because I was playing the. Do you remember the Digimon trading card app, the one that got shut down? I was playing that a lot. Uh, before 1.5 come out, and I actually played Shine a lot, and I was just like, this is crazy. So many tamers and it works, and this is just that, but more consistent.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with like Zoe on play is kind of like budget DK. She costs one less memory, but you get to look at your security at a Digimon with hybrid in its type or in its form, and then if you do recover one. So she allows you to get to the level 4 and the level 5 that you need. So yeah, this
Yes,
deck is super, super consistent.
I do like how with like decks are starting to look more and more unconventional, just kind of doing whatever they want, and it's working.
Yeah.
Then we've got the final deck from JP.
Yep. We have green hybrid. So talking about a lot of hybrid this week, but hybrid was the new set, so kind of have to talk about all the hybrid stuff. Um, so yeah, mainly playing off of the brand new tamer for green that they got, which was JP or Junpei. JP is very, very strong as a tamer. As an inherit, it gives Digimon piercing. which is very, very nice if you're green. And then whenever a Digimon evolves off of the tamer, you get to reduce the cost by 1. Which, with Pokemon, can lead to some silly stuff.
Yeah, because normally it'd be potentially you could go into Beetlemon, then go into, I don't know his name. Is that Pokemon the Digivolve for 1 or 3?
Pokemon is the 3 cost white
Oh,
Digimon.
yeah. I don't know why I completely forgot that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Pokemon Boys Digivolve on top of a tamer gain 2 memory.
yeah. So you actually net 1 memory from evolving off of JP, which is really, really nice.
So what's like this deck's focus then? What is this kind of game plan
Um,
through the Ancient Beetlemon line?
so that was the part. Getting the name of it now. The Rhino Carbuterimon, so the level 5 that's a 4 up in this deck. Uh, so it's got the usual stuff of when attack, of if it has attainment sources reduced by 2. And then when it attacks, you can digivolve it immediately into a hybrid or insectoid from your hand by paying 3 memory for it. So essentially, it lets you do the Gacha Green stuff, but without the Gacha element. You just get to evolve a level 6 straight from your hand. Sure, it costs 3, but still, going into stuff like Ancient Beetlemon or Ancient Troymon is really powerful.
Yeah, or even Nidhogg, just to get that Nidhogg out, blow up their board, and
Yeah,
potentially keep it your turn as well.
yeah, definitely. Since it's obviously all of the cards in here have a Evo cost of 5, so swinging with. Actually, you can't do Nidhoggmon. I looked this up before. Nidhoggmon does not fit the criteria for Rhino Carbuterimon, as
Ow.
it is not an insectoid or 10 warriors.
But he's
It's
just,
just there as a board clear
yeah,
because Nidhogg's that much of a good card.
yeah, he's hanging on. But that's the thing. Sure, you digiverse your whole stack, but being able to potentially clear your opponent's whole board is worth. It's all. I think it's going to be teched in for a while until something else comes up and trumps him, because it's just such a powerful card. It's a game-changing card.
Yeah. There's 3 more cards I'd like to probably talk about on this list, which is the 2 level 4 hybrids, being Metal Carbuterimon and Beetlemon. Beetlemon is essentially just uh, the amped up version of Flamon when you evolve from a Tamer or hybrid. So you look at the top 5, add either one JP, uh, add a JP and a hybrid on Evo from the top 5 on play, not on play, when evolving, which is super, super good. Makes this more consistent than it already needed to be.
Yeah, if Green needed more consistency.
Pretty much. And then Metal Carbuterimon, when digivolving, uh, with a if it has hybrid or JP in its digivolution sources, suspend the opponent's Digimon with 6k or less, so you can suspend down blockers for a nice Evo cost of 1 if you're evolving off the Jinpei or JP. Which is, again, super, super nice, pushing into games, just evolving up from a tamer, get rid of a blocker, then you can just swing in.
Yes, it's an interesting looking deck. I think each color is getting like a cool twist with the whole hybrid theme, and I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we've got to wait what
Uh,
four
I think
months,
it's
5
February for us.
months, yeah. So we've got to wait a little bit for it, but it's that whole theory crafting, and we've been quite lucky that our metas have never really been the same. I think the only meta we've seen which is the same as JP is the meta we're in now. Um,
Actually, I think it's BT. This meta's a bit different because we have some cards I think that were originally in Japan.
maybe
I know
that's
for
it.
like,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
we're just gonna always get something like some little tweaks, because obviously BT5 we're getting the new promos, which they don't change massive things, but it gives us text that JP didn't have at that point.
Yeah. I think the only meta that has been identical has been BT as 1.5/BT3.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because then we were at a point where we had this. I don't know because we didn't have the starter decks at that point, though, did we?
Japan got the starter decks a month after BT3.
Ah, okay. So yeah, we shared a period that was the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because unlike us, Japan has separate releases for their trial decks and starter decks.
So then we've got your list. So we're trying to do this every week as well. We each just create a deck for the current meta. Maybe one that we've been playing or one we're planning on playing. So this is Holy's deck he wanted to showcase.
Yep, this is Gurumon Tribal. I've been loving this deck for the past 3, 4 weeks, well, last few weeks, and yeah, this deck's been doing really well for me.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, it's interesting looking at it because obviously I've got a ancient, like a tribal guru I've been playing as well, um, but there's like big chunks that are different. But like I can see why you've gone for those differences. Like it's nice seeing like a fresh perspective on a like a deck I'm currently playing as well.
Yeah. So obviously, I think one of the big things different from you is obviously like having Mac Galgamon and Z Garurumon in the deck.
Yeah, so I don't run either of those two.
Yeah, Z Garurumon is can be a very much a lifesaver, but being on Digivolve bounce a level 5 back from Digiburst 2 is absolutely insane. And then Matt Galgamon lets you again win games that you're not really meant to, as you can just bounce back blockers and swing the game that way, which I've done a few times.
Yeah, like, looking at it, it looks like your deck's like more of a control based one. So with obviously running like you've got your Z, you've got your Mac, being able to bounce things back, and even just like the Mega Digimon fusion into Omni, you could swing with Ancient Guru, restand Mega Digimon into Omni, swing with Omni, restand given sending the Ancient Guru back to hand. Obviously, just from the Digivolution, you destroy something on their side of the field as well, or destroy a Digimon of that name and any Digimon that shares the same name. So you're potentially because it's a deck that's sorry, it's a stack that's going to potentially die anyway if you went off for a Lobo, but you're able to
Yeah,
all
yeah,
your
just a step
sacking
away
is
from that.
yeah, all your sacking is the Omnimon and Lobo, and then you're level 3, and you're keeping that ancient groove potentially to play again, which is definitely an interesting look at it. But so, because we were having this discussion, I choose to run the promo wear guru because I can have it if I have the new guru underneath it, I can swing it 7k and restand. So if they've got a blocker up and I'm going for game, I could swing with him 7k, clear the blocker, restand, swing again. And I feel like you have more control over the size of your hand with blue. So I think you'd get the security attack +1 off easy with that. Where you're on the other side of the fence, your choice is the star deck one.
Yes, I think that's starting one. It's just like being able to give security attack +1 to combo turns with like Ancient Garuru, Mega Digimon Fusion to Omni. Like that just blows out 5 security in itself. And if you've swung with something like Ancient Garuru and restanded it anyways, then you just win that turn.
But how hard do you find to get off? Because obviously the requirement for that is they have to have a Digimon with no Digivolution sources, which is quite common. But there's going to be times where you don't run any of the removal Digivolution sources, you're just not going to be able to get that off.
I mean, like for me, it's nice if it gets off, but it's not like too important. The idea of this is just have blue have something it doesn't normally have, which is big stacks, which
Yeah,
are big numbers. Which is right, like Z Garurumon comes in nice because it's a nice 12k body, but I can push to like 14, 15 with stuff like Garurumon, Sagittarius mode, and then on my turn I can buff up with 2k with Mac Galgamon.
yeah, true. So yeah, because that's the nice thing as well, because you can stack the Sagittarius mode on top of the Matt Galgren, you can do that a couple of times. So when you're digibursting, you can digiburst stuff away, but you're still keeping that DP boost.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I was mainly trying to go with it.
Yes, it's interesting, like a list that I've played tons of recently, but it's done in a different way. But like I can see why you've made each of those decisions. It changes up where mine's super aggressive, um, and I
Do you
play
run
it
the
super aggressive and get punished by it.
Grumpy? Do you run the BT1 Goma one in yours?
No, no, I don't.
It's a nice little thing, but obviously you know me. I like my nice little text and stuff very much, and Gomamon is another one of those. As if you have Gomamon under the stack of a um, ancient Garurumon, if you put your opponent to one memory and it dies, it's still your turn because when it kills itself, the Gomamon gives you the memory back.
Yeah, true. And I guess yeah, you
So
can
you don't
just
get
get a
rid-
Lobomon off of that as well. So
Yeah, and then
oh,
just digivolve into say Garurumon or Galgamon, and then start building up to the next one, next ancient Garuru.
yeah, true. I guess yeah, if you do that, it plays out the Lobo. You Digivolve, give him three. If you've got a Davis down, you're going to go to three anyway, so you're going to be able to go straight into Ancient.
Yeah,
Yes, it's definitely it is a really nice looking list. I might try some of those texts in mine because I was finding that with my deck, where it's very focused on the multi-attack aspect and kind of getting out your ancient guru, swing through. Okay, that's done. Now let's start building up another attack. Because I'll go into Lobo, then go into ancient, swing, restand, swing, then go into blitz to get another swing. The only thing then is you miss the only the only thing is then you miss out potentially playing the hybrid, but where you only run four, there's going to be a lot of times you don't have it in there, so you don't really mind losing out on that.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I do like that list. And the polar opposite of that, I decided I would build a ancient Greymon because I've been playing a lot of ancient Garuru and I wanted to try the other side of it. I've never really played it. I've had all the cards sitting now. So this is my kind of take on it. It's not a final list. I'm still playing around with ideas, but this is where I'm sitting at the moment. Because obviously you've got your Agumon for your searches, and then you've got your other Agumon for your DP boost, and then I've run to the promo one, which on play uh, deleted Digimon with I, I think it's 4,000 DP. I can't remember off the top of my head, or it might be 3,000 DP actually, which is yeah, so which is nice because you can play it out of Nokia just to clear something off their board. Um, and then the rest is pretty paint by numbers. You know, you've got the BT5 Greymon giving a 2k DP boost, and if you digivolve on top of an Agumon, you reduce its cost by one, which obviously you only going to digivolve on top of Agumons, which is nice. And if you've got a Nokia out, you digivolve them for free. You've got the Agunimon, which is when attacking, you can digivolve into an Ancient Greymon, which I think is quite nice because the thing with Ancient Garus, you need all the pieces then and there to go into it. So you have to be on like two memory and a Nokia or three memory to do it, where you can digivolve into a Goonie, leave him sitting there in your raisin area and then bring him out when you've got the piece you need.
yeah. It's definitely kind of like the nicer one, like more, but the Garurumon gets you probably more value in the end result of it.
Yeah, because at the moment, you're only ever getting what security attack plus one unless you build a stack. So, because if you go Agu into a Goonie, then into Ancient Grey, you're only triggering uh,
If you're on Flame on them, potentially security attack plus two.
yeah, that's the only thing. I was tempted to run Flamemon, but you don't run enough hybrid to justify it. Because I'd play a Flamemon. The only thing I'm going to grab off it is a Flamemon or a Gunimon.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
like
fair.
I could maybe tech out the two Agumon on play destroyer for two Flamemon, and even if I'm just using them to digivolve off of to get that extra security tag, that's actually a good idea. Because I don't have to play him to get the searcher.
Yeah,
And then
it's pretty nice.
yeah, and then you've got the obviously security attack plus one. inheritable Greymon. I've chose to run Cordramon because I've had so many 5k blockers blown up of mine this meta, and I feel like we're in a meta now where it's slow paced enough where I can justify 2 cost blockers at the moment, because hard playing 5 for a blocker that they might not be able to destroy next turn. So if I'm going against Shoutmon and I hard play uh, a Cordramon, then it's less likely to destroy, because the only way Shoutmon could get rid of it then is they'd have to attack with a Rise Greymon underneath to -2k, then they'd have to Digivolve into another Shoutmon to pop it, which is a lot of steps, and by then I would have already blocked with it.
Yeah.
So I'm a big advocate of the 6k bodies at the moment. Then you've got the Metal Greymon, which is the secret one from BT1. Has security attack +2. When attacking with this Digimon, lose 5 memory. Very rarely will you attack with it. It's more just the inheritable of +3k DP, which is nice. Allows you to swing over things. You've got Alterius mode, which is on Digivolve. If you have Greymon underneath it, you can pop a 4k or less Digimon, which you only run Greymon level 5. So again, you're going to pop that off. I run one of the Metal Greymon.
Phosphorus mode has to be Metal Greymon.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that's why I only run Metal Greymon level 5s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be able to, if I've got a level 5 down in Alterius mode, I'm going to be able to Digivolve and pop. Um, I'm not sure about the other level 6 yet. I've been playing around with it. I've gone obviously for the BT1 or Grey just for the fact that it gains security attack +1 when Digivolving, and it has a delicate plan attached to it. So I could potentially Digivolve, swing through 3 checks, and I'm not going to be worried, and I'm going to have the DP boost from Digivolving up to survive as well, which is nice. Then obviously the Ancient Greymon, 2 of the BT1 Omni, just for the you only really want to play them off Mega Digimon Fusion, but you also don't mind, like, if you have to, playing it to clear something big off the board isn't too bad, because then next turn you could potentially attack, restand, send back an Ancient Greymon, attack again to maybe, if you got a Unimon on board, to do some more checks. One of the
And same
Blitz.
thing with the BT1 on the I do similar stuff with my Gurumon list, occasionally just using it to get rid of some big bodies that I know I can't deal with otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, especially with blue, you need that because you don't have the removal. But in here, I don't run the removal in this one. I was tempted to. I'm still not 100% on this list. I think it's a good basis. I'm going to get some testing and maybe tweak it a bit. A singular delicate plan, because again, if I've got an Ancient Greymon out and I've built the stack, um, if I'm swinging for 5 security, I want a way to protect myself with that, because I'm going to have the DP boost. But a delicate plan allows me to secure it. Um, Toying with the idea of maybe dropping Mega Digimon Fusion entirely and just running a one of each Omni, because I can get the kill just from an Ancient Graph and build a decent enough stack, and having 2 delicate plans allows me to play around with it. But it's nice if I don't see the delicate plan, I can go into the other War Grey, which has it attached, and then we've got just the Marcus and Nokia as well. Just, I mean, you're not really going to play any other tamers with this. Instead, the markers for the game 1 memory when attacking, and having a memory tamer down, and Nokia allowing you to reduce Greymon Digivolutions or Omnimon Digivolutions by 1, and being able to play out an Agumon when playing it, which you run in 14 Agumon, so more than likely you're gonna have one in hand to hard play, to play out. So
Yeah,
I think it's a fun little list. Maybe we'll have to do a battle of it. You can play yours, I'll play mine, and we'll do Ancient versus Ancient. That'll be quite fun.
yeah. I think it's the deck definitely gets a lot from BT6 as well, because BT6 has the new Playmon
Yeah,
that
definitely.
benefits this deck so much. Being able to give Ancient Greymon piercing, because the obvious issue of this deck is if you get blocked, you
Yeah,
just done you've done nothing.
which is nice. Why you Yeah, I guess yeah, that's the only thing. 'Cause potentially, then like, you could swap the Wargrave for the um, when digivolving Killer Blocker, but then you've potentially losing out on a security attack +1. Then you can't Ancient Grey that stack. So it's yes, it's definitely maybe I don't know. Yeah, maybe you find some removal some other way. But it's a good starting
Sorry,
spot.
kind of burst your bubbles.
Yeah, no, yeah, you just burst my dream. Then I was like, oh yeah, blockers. This can't really do anything with them. So that's it for our deck profiles and our news. This is just a bit of a promoting the Discord that we're in. So I do a lot of work behind the scenes, and Holy does a lot of work judging as well. Um, it's a great Discord. We run tons of locals, and it's just promoting it out. So we want to bring in some new players as well. Got 2 locals a week. As you saw last time, it was just some scribble writing. This time we've got a fancy piece of art done by the amazing Curse, who purple deck this we actually looked at today. So yeah, on Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, we've got tournaments running. They're free to enter. There's no prize support on these ones, but there are a few that got prize support coming up. So we've got the Chaos Cup, which I'm personally sponsoring. So putting a few cards up for prizing. So first place is an all art BT4 Chaosmon. Second place is a Chaosmon Valderarm, and third place is 4 BT5 rares of your choice. So with all tournaments now, originally you didn't have to submit deck lists, but now we're using Limitless. Every tournament it needs you to submit deck list, which is nice for us because it means we don't have to go hunting for them, don't have to ask people and pester people for their deck list. We can just grab them now. But it's also nice for you lot because you can go onto Limitless and look at what decks were played that tournament, see what topped, maybe find some interest in this as well because we only ever show the top 3. So sometimes our tournaments have 20, 25 players, especially ones with rewards in. We've had them go up to like 30 plus. So it allows you, like, it's a good 20, 30 decks you can look at and see what people are playing. So I do think
Yeah,
we definitely benefit from having Limitless. And then we've actually got a getting you ready for BT6 with a BT4 winner box. Obviously, the top decks, so at least one of the top decks for BT6 is going to be Bond of Friendship. So you're going to need those ancients. And what better way to get it than to enter our winner box? So it is £5 entry, and that's taking place on the 30th of September. Same time as normal, so this is replacing one of our locals, same as the previous one is replacing one of our locals. So first place is 12 packs of BT4, second place 6, third and fourth place get 3 packs each. We don't run too many uh, like paid entry tournaments, but obviously this one is sponsored by Card Cavern, so he's putting the stock up, so it's just a way for him to kind of get reimbursed for the stock he's putting up. But it's yeah, it's looking like it's quite popular already. There's a few people signed up. It's looking to be a busy tournament as well, because like I said, especially when people looking for those hybrids and those ancient gurus to finish it. And then finally, we have something big is coming. Watch this space. So a few of us over at the Gordo Games Discord are in a little group called Legion. So it's just a group of friends, like-minded people. We play a lot of tournaments together, kind of promote each other, and we've been working in the shadows on something big. We've been working on it for a while. We've finally got everything we need, and Anthony over at Ultimate TCG has been kind enough to sponsor it. So definitely go over to his website. Link's going to be in the description. Give him some love as well. He does amazing prices on uh, the Digimon boxes. I think for the BT6 boxes, if you buy 6, you get them at £71 each, which is crazy because the cheapest pre-orders you'll find anywhere is about £75, £80. And he also has a few other services he runs, like custom playmats as well. But we've been working with him a little bit, been going back and forth with him for this new venture of ours. So hopefully next podcast we'll be able to announce what that is. Um, So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ordered anything off of Ultimate TCG? Well,
What was that? Sorry.
I'm just curious if you've actually ordered anything off of Ultimate
Oh
TCG.
yeah, I've ordered tons of Ultimate TCG. I've actually every set I get the majority of my boxes from Anthony. He's always done amazing prices.
I'll
Um,
admit I haven't done too much from there because I want to support my current locals game stores. Always
uh,
do that, by the way.
see
Um,
if you're like me and you don't have a local, check
yeah,
Anthony out.
yeah, I did get some playmats and sleeves for when I was playing Vanguard. Um, and the playmat and sleeves were the playmat was really nice quality, so I use it basically every time I play Vanguard, which isn't much now, but
But every time you do, you're thinking of him. But yeah, no, I've shot with him quite a lot. I've had a lot of uh, good experiences with him. He's very approachable. Like you can send him messages on Facebook, talk to him about things. He's always happy to get back to you over there. And I'm really happy we are working with him. Like I said, I've shot with him since Digimon was announced. I think I got my 1.0 boxes from him. So since from there, I've kind of used him predominantly. So it's nice to kind of finally work with him. But that is it from us from today. I think it's going to be a little bit of a longer one today. We really delved into those decks, to put in some information for you lot. So hope you all appreciate that. Obviously, next week we're going to have some more card releases as well. Maybe we'll see something from JP, maybe we won't. But instead of our top three local decks next week, we're actually going to have something exciting. We're going to have the top decks from the Evo Cup. So branching out a little bit, seeing what bigger tournaments are holding. So we'll be able to see. I think they put up top eight. So we'll, instead of be looking at the two locals of top three, we'll be looking at the top eight from Evo, which will be nice. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out. Hopefully we're kind of at the end of a set now, so I'm hoping we see some spice come out.
yeah, and hopefully it's not like five five Lord Nightmon lists like this time.
Yeah, if it is nothing but Lord Nightmare, maybe we'll talk about the local ones, but
Yeah,
we'll wait and see for that.
all of
But
them are all Lord Nightmons, but just in this weird predicament.
yeah, yeah, there'll be six Lord Nightmons over on our locals, and the eight top Lord Nightmons will be nothing but Lord Nightmons. Maybe at that point we'll just create six decks each. Sorry, three decks each, and we'll just show those.
Sounds like an idea.
But have you got anything else to share with the lovely viewers?
No, I don't. So
Well,
let's just end the episode.
it is indeed. So from myself and Holy, this is us saying enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening to our voices, and hopefully you continue to enjoy our content. And I'll see you on the next podcast. See ya.
See ya.